Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our creative marketing interview strategies that has been running all summer long. Today, well, first I should introduce myself, Maria Dismondy. There should be an M on my necklace, not a W. I am the founder of Cardinal Rule Press. It is a children's publishing company, and I have been running this series over the last maybe 8 weeks. Interviewing different experts in creative marketing because I truly believe that in order to sell products, sell services, you have to be creative with your marketing. It can not come off as salesy. It has to be authentic. So I have all these wonderful interviews. You can go back each week to see what we have learned about so far. But today I have a special guest, very special to me because NJ and I work together. This is Rongner, and she is the founder of Working Christian Moms that has been extremely successful. And she has had some really cool things happening in the last 6 months that we're going to talk about. So NJ, tell us a little bit about yourself and your company.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me, Maria. My name is Rongner. I am the founder of Working Christian Moms movement for working moms out there, and about what it has been like for me over these last 6 months, because I've had some really good success. So I had the idea for a Working Christian Mom about 18 months ago, and I spent the full I think that when you can do that, you have people who will buy what you're selling. So that is my first tip, is to buy what you're out there looking for if you don't have a place to buy it to. So that is my first success tip to all of you today. The second thing is that you're selling, you really want to partner up with somebody who can help you. I knew that I wanted to strategically pair up with people who would help me along in my journey. So to give you a little bit of background, mom, that I was going to meet. Who in my network can I tap that has the same? Help me launch this product. Who has a share of my market that is going to help me launch my product?
I want to interrupt real quick and just say this is really important because oftentimes
asking them, hey, can you help me with this? This is what I have happening. Can I use your platform to help my platform grow, and we can grow together? So that is what I started with. And as it turned out, my good friend Kelsey,
can you hear me? Uh-oh. Hang on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold
Kelsey. Oh, maybe Maria's coming back. Hey, Maria, you're back.
Can you hear me? Because we had, Mandy said our volume was cutting in and out when you were talking.
I can hear you, but I had no of you. So I just kept on with the show like the professional that I am.
That's good. Okay, so I want to go back to one thing that cut out that you were saying is the importance of partnering with someone who is in front of the same target market as you. So for example, I would not reach out to someone who is targeting, senior citizens because they're selling Hearing aids. I'm just trying to think of something.
No.
It would not make sense to me and it wouldn't be worth my while. I don't care if this company has a million, gajillion, bazillion followers. It's still not going to be in my best interest. So that part cut out with you. And I just wanted to reiterate the importance that you found someone that had a similar audience as you.
Yes. Yes. So they had a similar end audience. The market share of the cash money comes from the same person, but we sell completely different things.
Fantastic.
So it wasn't a competition. The person was not a competitor, but the dollar was from the same person at the end. So if you are, for example, you're a children's book author, right? So a person that you might pair up with could be somebody who has a very successful Etsy shop that sells preschool clothing, because you still have the same end client. At the end of the dollar, the client is still the same, but the way that you get that dollar from that person is different. It's a different vehicle.
Absolutely. Great. Okay, good. We're moving on. We're back on.
Good. We're moving on. So what I did is I found a friend to pair up with, and we decided to partner together to launch a giveaway. And if you're going to launch a giveaway, you don't want the social media following as much as you want the email, or you want the email address. So I got into the head of my end person and I thought, what does this person really want? What are the things that they would give their email address for the chance of getting? And I came up with about $200 worth of products that my client avatar considers a splurge. And some of these products are seasonal products that sell out. So I made sure to grab them before they sold out. But I waited until after they had sold out to launch my giveaway.
So not only were they worth $200, but they were even worth more because of the scarcity. So they were a hot commodity.
Yes, they were a hot commodity. And so I went back with my friend and I said, listen, I have paid for all these products. All I need is for you to help communicate that I have this giveaway going on. You can be a co-sponsor of the giveaway and get all of the email addresses at the end. I've paid for the product. That's the exchange, because I was borrowing her platform. Basically, she has a larger list. She has a larger following. I'm borrowing her platform. So that was the exchange.
What was the tool you used to run this giveaway?
What
tool did you use to run the giveaway?
I used a tool from Sumo. So I used the Sumo Me giveaway tool that collects the email addresses. That's the first entry point, is the email address. And it integrates with your WordPress website, and it's very easy to use. So we launched this giveaway, and it was a smashing success. And we launched it. We had 728 entrants.
Excellent.
And the cost per lead was, I think it ended up around 51 cents a lead.
Okay.
And the conversion rate, the retain rate of those 728 people that I brought onto my email list, I retained 651.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it goes to show that if you partner up with the same person who has the same buyer at the end, that buyer is willing to stick around with you, even if you weren't like their first love.
Very successful promotion giveaway. Excellent. Are you thinking of doing another one?
I am always thinking of doing them. It is just a matter of making sure now. This was before GDPR came down. And so I need to make sure now that if I do another one, that it is compliant with the way that the leads are. And I think that it is, but it was so successful that I've even considered like maybe charging a small fee for the other people to be a part of it, because they would also get the leads. So I don't know, maybe.
Fantastic. And I should tell the audience that right now I am actually running a contest on Instagram, and I have partnered up with an educational influencer who's helping me to run the program. And basically what she's doing is she's introducing me to her network. She's bringing them to my Instagram. We are giving away books. We're giving away some of her products, which are lesson plans to go with my books. It's running across 5 days. And so far, day one was fantastic. And it's not, I will make a point, it's not that we're trying to get a whole bunch of likes just to get likes. I am literally getting likes on Instagram to build relationships with these educators. And so I will eventually bring those educators into either my private Facebook group, or I will bring them over to my email list. So I know that them in the space of Instagram is not enough, that I need to bring them even deeper into my business. So that's just a little side note, but we want to continue on with NJ because she has even more to tell you about. Because was it a couple months ago you launched a podcast, and there have only been 11 episodes. So when did the actual first episode launch? I feel like it was March. March keeps popping.
April. It was late April, I think.
Okay.
So I launched my podcast. This is all of this stuff about the giveaways is leading up to a podcast launch. I knew that I was going to launch a podcast. But again, just like I said in the beginning, when I was sort of rambling and talking all on my own, and we were trying to, figure out if it was going to be a 30 minutes of the NJ show or not. If the only thing that you can take away today is this, it's that you cannot expect to sell anything have a person to sell it to. So I knew that if I wanted to launch my podcast to people, I first had to bring in those people. I had to get people. So I started my Facebook group. I converted a bunch of those people into my email list. I buddied up with somebody, and then I talked about it forever and ever and ever a day. I shared every step of the process, who I was interviewing, what I was thinking the music should be. I took my people on a journey with me, which meant that they were just as invested in this podcast as I was. And so when it finally came to put it out in the world, within the first week, it cracked the top 70 of the kids and family category on iTunes because people were so excited about it. They were sharing about it. They were reviewing it. They were rating it. They were loving it. And so since then, I have released 11 episodes, and the total number of downloads of those 11 episodes as a sum is just a little over 5,100.
Woo! Which is amazing. For those of you who don't know numbers in podcasts, that's a lot of numbers.
Yes.
Let's go back because
yes.
I'm going to have you were clear as day, but I want everyone to hear it one more time. NJ did not think of creating this podcast and then she just started it. She had strategy and she had an actual campaign behind it. She first built a Facebook group for working Christian moms. Along with, you had a website at the same time, but you built the Facebook community and you had the promotion and you took them on the journey. It wasn't like you just started it overnight. So that's important for people to know.
Yes, 100%. You have to build the people first. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. I knew that this was missing from the world because I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. So I built it myself. And the community is not all just about me. It is about us together as working Christian moms. So there are lots of topics and lots of discussions where I am not even a part of it. It's bringing people together around a central idea or a central theme, and that your product is an accessory to that theme or idea. So for example, if you are somebody who is really passionate about soccer and you sell soccer supplies, a good Facebook community for you to build might be about high-performing athletes, how to support high-performing athletes. And so within that group, there might be conversations about meals, about travel, about team building, about all this other stuff. And you will get business, but your group isn't based on selling.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. I love that. I think that's really, really important because you're giving. And something that we've heard over and over again in these interviews is that marketing is about providing valuable information and content to your community, to your avatar, to your target market, so that they can come to know, like, and trust you. We keep hearing this over and over again. And like you said, if you build it, they will come. And something else you said that was so spot on was you were looking for something that wasn't there and you created it. And I heard a really, really cool tip. I don't know where I heard it from because I listened to so many books on tape and podcasts, but I heard a tip that as a writer, if you really want to write a good book, start going on Amazon, and it could be about a product too. Maybe you want to create a product. Start going on Amazon and typing in keywords, finding similar products, but read the negative reviews and see what is missing, and then fill that void so that you can give people what they want. So I thought that was really helpful.
Yeah, I think that's a if you're a writer, that's a really, really great strategy. I think that anytime that you can take what's missing that somebody else has produced and use it to inspire something that you're going to produce, I think that it's almost always successful. In my case, there wasn't anybody who was talking to working Christian moms. Like, part of the reason why the group grew so fast is because the group is named Working Christian Mom. So if you look in Facebook is a search engine, and people every day were searching for Working Christian Mom. And the group grew because I didn't name it something cute. The group grew because I named it what it is and who it's for.
And in the book industry, it's really important to have a subtitle because oftentimes, for example, my son and I read a book last night and it was called I Walk with, is it Catherine? I Walk with Catherine, I believe. You would have, okay, are they going on a walk? Like, what is this book about? But the subtitle is How One Act of Kindness Can Do So Much, something along those lines. So you know it's a book about kindness. So a subtitle is really important. And like you said, you didn't go all fancy schmancy. Like, you hit it home on the title. So that's key. Now, I did ask you before we hopped on, I said, I want you, and I think you already shared it, but I just want to make sure. I said, NJ, you have been very successful with Working Christian Moms. And a lot of marketing is not black and white. There's a lot of gray, and you can't always tell, like, is this a good return on my investment? Is this marketing strategy working? Am I doing the right thing? If you could pick one marketing strategy that you believe worked, I think you're going to tell me that you create a community, but I just want to double check if there is a strategy that you believe you would not be here today. Working Christian Mom wouldn't be successful growing where it's at without that strategy.
100%. For me, that is the number one thing, is that I had to build the community because I wanted this marketing to be grassroots. I don't have a huge ads budget. I am not financially able to run $5,000 worth of ads targeted to working moms who go to church. I'm just not. So this was a grassroots thing for me. And I think that the grassroots method really, really, really works.
I am an example of the grassroots method as well. But you have to put the time in.
You have to put the time in. But the other part of it is, if you put the time in, I think sometimes on social media, especially, and in marketing, we get it all twisted, and we think of followers, and we think of subscribers, and we think of likes. But what we have to remember really and truly is behind every one of those followers, likes, or subscribers is literally a person. It is a person who has struggles, who has loves, who has triumphs, who has failures, who has guilt, who has shame, who has joy, who has love. And that's a real person who is receiving what you're putting out into the world. And for me, I want to know all of those people. Because people are what buy products. It's not a follower. It's a person.
Yeah, and it's that authenticity and connection. And it's something that I think is missing in social media. So if you can tap into it, I think people really gravitate towards it.
Yeah, really and truly. And I love a woman. Her name is Nicole Walters. You can follow her on Instagram at napnatural. And she's somebody who really reiterated this to me. And she said, if your email list only is 100 people and you sell a $97 product to 100 people, that is like almost a $10,000 launch.
There you go, right there. It's not the number, it's the quality. It's not the quality. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So NJ, what would you say is next? Like, what is next? I mean, you're on a roll. What's next?
What's next is just more of the same in terms of serving my clients and working with my working Christian moms and doing my podcast. I am really excited that this fall I'm going to be launching masterminds for Christian business owners.
Fantastic.
Because again, that's something else that nobody else in the market is really doing. If you're a believer, and I know that not everybody who's catching this is, but if you're somebody who has faith of any kind, if it's Judaism or Buddhism or Mormonism or Christianity, whatever, then you know that your faith informs your life in different ways than if you're a person who is not of faith. And so I want to have a space where people of my faith can get together and talk about their business challenges and their business wins and what's next in their business through the lens of our faith.
That's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
So that's what's next.
The fall masterminds. Yes. I love it. So if you're tuning in right now, you need to hit rewind and hear it from the beginning, because this is a fantastic interview. You're going to get some really good creative marketing strategies from NJ. You're going to hear all about how she built her community and what she's up to, what is next. And again, for anyone tuning in, this is not just for writers. This is not just for working moms. These tips can be really put into different industries. You have to think outside of the box. And that's something that, as NJ and I work together, we're always talking about how can you take something and think outside of the box, because it really just helps open the lens, and it helps to open your, it helps to open your field to more people when you can think outside of the box and you're not so narrow-minded about focusing on one thing. You just kind of open it up. And I love that you did that. You weren't like, I'm going to do this podcast. This is the only thing on my radar. You opened it up and you were like, I'm going to do a promotion, a giveaway. I'm going to do a private Facebook group. I'm going to do a newsletter list. I'm going to do the podcast. These are all things that I'm working towards, not just the one.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And
thank you so much for having me.
You too. And I will put a link in the comments below. Where's the best place for people to find you?
The best place to find me, one of two places. You can find me at workingchristianmom.com, or you can find me on Facebook in my Facebook community, and that's just Working Christian Mom. So you can use the search bar and you'll find the group, and we'd love to have you.
Fantastic. Thanks again, NJ.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.